Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Marvel Crisis Protocol reveal. And today they have released the panel to play on Scarlet Spider, Ben Riley. So this is another one where we kind of knew most of what we're getting here, but there are a couple new things that have been revealed, mainly just the backside of his card, and there is a slight change. So that's cool to see. There's actually something new to cover with this one. Not 100% sure if I'm uploading this the day it came out or the day after, because either way it ends up being a double upload, which kind of feels weird. Obviously, the day this came out, I uploaded the one on Sandman, and then if this is coming out on the Wednesday, then I had the roster building video that morning. So not 100% sure what I'm doing. I'm probably just going to upload it the day of. So there's a building video coming out tomorrow. Spoiler alert. But yeah, so here we go. We have Scarlet Spider. We got another good look at the model here. It is a really nice model. I do really like it. I'm excited to paint this guy up for sure. As we already definitely knew, mentions Web Warrior allies, so he's definitely going to have Web Warrior affiliation. I couldn't find anything hinting to a second affiliation or anything like that. Doesn't mean there won't be one, we just don't know for sure. So then we go ahead and we get his card, and as far as I can tell, the only difference that was changed here is that he goes down to 5 health on the flip side from the 6 that he had on the front here. So if there are other differences, feel free to point them out for me down below, but as far as I'm aware, that's the only one. So we'll go ahead and go over his card real quick for anyone who didn't see the Adepticon video or just forgot, because honestly, I forgot half the things he does because he has a lot on his card here. So he's coming in with a 4-3-3 defensive stats, 6 stamina, 5 on the back, 4 threat, size 2, medium move, so nothing too crazy right there. Then he has Scarlet Strike. This is a range 2 5 dice attack. He's going to build power equal to the damage dealt, and it's got a wild hit elusive trigger letting him advance small, so it's a solid extra little trigger to have on an otherwise just fine builder. Next, he's got Impact Webbing. This is a range 4 4 dice attack. He's going to gain 1 no matter what happens on this, and it's got a wild push for size 2 or less. I think we've seen this exact attack at least like 2 or 3 times now, so nothing new there, but it's a very solid option to have, especially for that consistent power gain versus the builder up here. So you can kind of make that choice in the moment, which I think is really, really good. Next, he's got whatever a spider can. This is very, very similar to, actually, it might be the exact same as 5 threat Peter's Spender. So this is a range 2, 8 dice, 5 cost physical attack. After the attack is resolved, he gets a medium advance, and on a wild, he gets the catch trigger. After the attack is resolved, choose an interactive terrain feature, size 2 or less, within range 3, and destroy it. The target character suffers a collision as if it was thrown at it. So basically, throw a size 2 or less at the character you had attacked if you got a wild. So that's pretty good. In range 3, so you have a lot of places to choose from, and because both of these triggers are after the attack is resolved, you could actually use that medium advance to run away somewhere and then throw a piece of terrain that is close to where you are now at them, even though they're like a significant distance away from you now. So that's kind of cool. Some fun things you can do with that. Definitely a solid spender. 5 is a little on the pricier side for a spender just in general, but not too bad. You'll definitely be able to make use of this, and the guaranteed medium advance makes it definitely worth the while. Next, he's got 2 active superpowers here. The first one is Web Whip. In my opinion, this is the coolest thing on his card. This is a 2 cost. Choose an enemy character within range 3 and in line of sight, and push it towards this character small. Then place this character within range 1 of the enemy character. This superpower can only be used once per turn. So it's kind of a combination of like a web line followed by a web swing. I think this is really, really neat. There's a lot of interesting ways you can use this. If they're stopped against something, you can push them into that something and then just place yourself. So it's just a place at that point. Or you can use it to, pull someone off of a point and then put yourself on the point that they were on. So I think that's a really, really cool superpower there. And I love to see the kind of original power there that's kind of taking a combination of 2 things. I talked about how much I like that idea with Gwenom, and I think they did, just taking kind of 2 existing powers and merging them together, and I think they did a great job at making kind of that same vibe with Web Whip. So really, really happy with the Web Whip superpower here. Next thing on his card is Proportionate Strength of a Spider. This is a 3-cost superpower. Choose an enemy character of size 3 or less. Note that this is just character, not character or terrain, within range 3, and throw it small. The superpower can be used only once per turn. So, yeah, character throws are good, turns out. Not having the versatility of it also being a terrain throw is interesting, but still very, very good for him to have. It's an any direction throw, so that's great, and it's from range 3. You can do a lot of work with this. So definitely really, really like that. I also kind of like the idea of like combining the two superpowers to like throw someone into a point where they're now backstopped. So then you pull them, they bump, and you get as much distance as you want off of that web whip. That might be a little redundant, but I think in some cases that could be really interesting and definitely add something to kind of the skill ceiling for this character. So I think that's really cool to see. Next, he's got the Spider Sense. We've seen this a million times at this point. When he's defending against a physical or energy attack or making a dodge roll, he can re-roll 2 of his defense or dodge dice. That's really, really good. And having the 4 physical defense that a lot of the other Spider Sense models don't have definitely means he'll get even more advantage out of that, even without the Miles leadership giving him the ability to re-roll skulls. But, you know, obviously most of the time, if you're running him in Web Warriors, you'll probably have that anyways. Still really, really nice to have. He's also got Wall Crawler, which, you know, that's just good. And especially since he doesn't have his own real web swing, because his web whip requires line of sight, so you can't use that to get over tall buildings and stuff like that. So having Wall Crawler will definitely still help make sure he's still getting around. And here's the flip side of the card. Like I said, I don't think anything else has changed here. All of his attacks look like they do the same amount of dice that they did before. He's got 5 stamina on this side, and otherwise I'm not seeing any changes here. But yeah, going through the rest of it here, they talk about his abilities and what they do, because you know they that's how these usually work. But there isn't anything really jumping out to me as super new and fancy. We got the cool splash art of him here. That's gonna be sweet. But yeah, we don't have anything more than that. No other hints that I can tell relating to different affiliations he might be a part of or anything different coming with him that we haven't already seen. So for the most part, we've already seen a lot of the things that we just covered here, but I figured I'd throw this up anyways just to, the health did change, so that's definitely worth acknowledging, and give anyone who missed the Adepticon video a chance to kind of see what Scarlet Spider is all about. But yeah, are you guys excited for Ben Riley here? I think he looks really cool. I like that he's kind of just like a combination of all of the kind of abilities we see on so many different of the spider people. I've heard people say he's kind of what original Corebox Peter Parker should have been, and I don't disagree. I think original Corebox is kind of feels just like a weaker version of this, and that's kind of cool because obviously this one is a little bit more in line with the current power levels of the game. So hopefully he'll see a lot of play. I'm not much of a kind of traditional Web Warriors player. I think he's going to be really good for the traditional Web Warriors game plan. For myself, I'm probably not going to play him too much just because I'm not really big of a fan of the traditional Web Warriors game plan, but I do really like Web Whip, so I'm definitely going to try to get him on the table once in a while just to play around with that ability because I think it's a lot of fun. But let me know what you guys are thinking down below. Are you happy with Ben Riley? Is the 1 health down on the flip side a big downside to you, or do you think that's totally fine? I'm very curious to hear what you guys think because yeah, he seems like he's pretty solid. He's got some really good abilities going for him, but he does have a fairly expensive kit and his power generation is consistent but not particularly fast. So we'll see how that plays out. But it is nice because with the impact webbing, he can always make sure he has one of these online every round as long as he's already in range to punch things with a range 4 attack. So that's definitely going to help out in that regard. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Are you planning on running him a bunch? Are there places you're thinking about splashing him? Other places you think he might be affiliated other than Web Warriors even? Definitely curious to hear what you guys think. But that is going to do it for my thoughts on the Scarlet Spider here. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do drop a like down below. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We cover all the different panel plays and other reveals and things like that they do. But we also do things like character spotlights, roster building, and battle reports. So if you're interested in any of those sorts of things, feel free to join on in. But that's going to be it for me. So until next time, have a great day, everybody. Peace.